Welcome to RPG Book Club, a podcast where we play a little bit of a video game and talk about how it makes us feel. I'm Sam.
I'm Bernard.
And I'm Trish.
And today we'll be continuing our coverage of Golden Sun: The Lost Age, playing the segments in Alhafra, Ayers Rock, and Garrow, eventually returning to Madra. But before we get started, how was everyone's week?
So, as I've mentioned before, I once a week for work, I have to drive to a town that is 90 miles away. So I have to drive there and drive back. Had to do that today. And I'm like, this drive's a little annoying, but whatever. I can deal with it. I've dealt with it before. I'll deal with it again. The entire highway was closed down for a large stretch. I don't know what happened.
Oh,
Weird.
dear.
So I had to go off the highway and drive in weird neighborhoods and stuff, and everybody else was also trying to navigate this small town off the highway. It was a mess. Other than that, one of my big New Year's resolutions is simply to watch media, because that's not something I do enough. I ostensibly studied film in college, and yet I never watch films. So I've been doing that. I've watched 2 feature films so far this year, and I've watched both pilot episodes of Columbo.
Ooh.
Nice.
I watched the first episode, and partway through it, I messaged Sam, and I said, Columbo is a fae. And Sam was like, yeah, and apparently that's something everybody comes up with.
Yeah. So me and my partner, when she took me through the series, we created a similar but slightly different thing rather than being a fae, which was that Columbo served the spider god, was cursed by the spider god to solve crimes, didn't actually work for the police, and the spider god was also his wife.
That makes sense.
Yes.
That's why we never see her.
Yeah, because if she showed up on screen, she'd break our brains.
Mm-hmm. Which ones were the pilot episodes again?
The pilot episodes are Prescription Murder, which is about a psychiatrist who murders his wife with the help of his actress girlfriend. And the other one is Ransom for a Dead Man, where
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah, it's the one where this lawyer woman, who is also a pilot, I think it's probably just because the producers had some connections with a local small airport or something, and were like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, we could make this character a pilot. That would be fun. And she murders her husband, then sets up this elaborate ruse of he's been kidnapped and there's a ransom and stuff. And in both of them, the people playing the murderers are fantastic.
Oh, yeah. I really love her performance in Ransom for a Dead Man.
Yeah, she's great. On the off chance you haven't listened to us talk about Columbo a whole bunch, listener, and you're not familiar with Columbo, I'm not spoiling it. The premise of Columbo is basically you see the murder happen at the beginning, and then you find out how Columbo catches them. It's not a whodunit.
Yeah. It's not even really a done it.
It's a how catch 'em. Yeah.
Yeah, it's how well, some of them are how done it. Most of them are how catch 'em. Some of them are how done it.
Yeah. Columbo rules.
Columbo does indeed rule. You know what else rules? Getting to see people you love. In one case, for the first time in person, which is what I was doing. Just yesterday was the end of my week vacation, and I had 2 partners visiting, and it was really nice, and now I miss them a lot. I don't know. So I don't know. Sam, how many in terms of both poly and just relationship in general? How much or either of you have done longer distance relationships? But there is this element sometimes of being yeah, we vibe a lot in person, but I worry about how well is that going to translate? Or we vibe really well online. How well is that going to translate in person?
Mm-hmm.
What if the chemistry isn't there or something? And I've never actually had that turn out to be a problem, but it's never been as little of a problem as it was this time. Me and
Nice.
Misty just immediately magnetically slammed into each other, and it was perfect. Unfortunately, on Monday she got a cold that left her sick for the rest of it, and had to fly back while sick. So that sucked.
Yeah.
Now I'm alone, and I haven't unpacked any of my luggage because I'm sad and I don't have a lot of energy. But I went back to work today. It was nice. Yeah, the only other thing I have really to talk about that's happened recently is actually wait, I was gonna say the only thing, but also since last time I recorded, I went to an appointment with a dermatologist for the laser hair removal, and which I'll be, of course, needing to do for bottom surgery. And I got I have now a prescription for numbing cream, which I'm going to need because apparently getting lasered down there is gonna hurt like a motherfucker. And yeah, so glad to have these at least. Excited for that to finally happen. Yeah, no, I'm kind of sad, a little low energy and a little sad, but otherwise, I'm doing good.
Good. I'm not doing very good. I mean, like emotionally and well-beingly and life updates wise, I'm fine. Everything is great. But eagle-eared listeners will remember that last week the kids were sick and I was taking care of them, and I was doing a real good job of using PPE and not interacting with them directly and wearing a mask and gloves and using hand sanitizer and washing up constantly. But the problem with trying really hard is sometimes you still lose. And all that meant is when they started to get better was when I got sick. And so I got all of their big, hard fuck you sick and lasted all weekend. And I'm still only barely on the up and up. My cough is horrible still. So shout outs to future Bernard, who's going to cut all of them out so you don't have to hear that nastiness. But I am finally feeling better. So I was able to get caught up on everything that was behind yesterday. And while I was doing that, I was watching GDQ because it's GDQ week. And this marathon has been very, very entertaining. Almost not for speedrun reasons. Like there have been several good speedruns, but just like as a thing to watch, it has just been off the charts.
Now, you say that it is 90% speedrun, so I'm not sure what you mean.
Oh, so like the couches have been entertaining, the runners have been entertaining, and there's been like stuff around the speedruns have been entertaining in a way that in previous years it has been like the couches have just been like shining the light on the speedrun that's happening, and it's like one's in service of the other. But this one has been kind of on even playing field, which some people might not like, but I think it's been a entertaining week. The coolest one that's happened that I want to play casually is Super Mario World, but in reverse. And it's not just mirrored like you would think. You start on the screen where you would fight Bowser, and you work your way backwards through every single level. And
that's amazing.
It's so cool. And there's a lot of like things you have to retrain your brain about, because Mario levels start with a power up and you carry that through the rest of the level. They almost never end with a power up. So if you need to go farm power ups, you like go to castles, because that's where you can go in and actually get something, because they usually give you a mushroom right before the final boss or whatever. And so it is odd to say the least, and it seems like so much fun.
I stayed up past my bedtime last night watching GDQ. I often don't actually watch a ton of GDQ when it's a GDQ week, but yesterday I watched a bunch. I watched Parkamon. I watched Pokemon Heart Gold. I'm Coach Z. I watched Pokemon Heart Gold, 80% Manipulous, but with glitches, which was wild. It turns out you can just walk in a very specific way in different places on the map, and it'll cause different parts of the map to load in incorrectly and crazy stuff. And I always love a Pokemon speedrun. I think they're really fun because the runners have to improvise a lot and do a lot of rough math in their heads as they're going through. Then after that was Joker Shell OK, which is a Super Mario World Kaizo ROM hack that looked absolutely fucking insane. Run by Shovda, Shavda, I forget how it's pronounced. Speedrunner names are just completely made up sequences of characters, so I don't know how to pronounce any of them. But anyway, she was amazing, and I don't fucking know how it's possible. And then after that was a 4-player versus mode Mario Kart 64 tournament, or not tournament, it was just one pre with all the courses, and it turns out extremely high level Mario Kart is just crazy mind games. Because it's like, I'm going to hold back and get in fourth so I can get a really good item, and then I'm going to hold on to this item, and is this person going to use the item now, or are they going to wait for a better time, or are they going to use it so that if I get a boo, what's going to happen? It was wild mind games. And then after that was Donkey Kong 64, which was the beginning of the Awful Block.
Yeah. The Awful Block was really long this year. So even if you don't count Donkey Kong 64, which it wasn't supposed to be, but it had the same energy, so it felt like Awful Block had started.
Okay, so someone who's never watched GDQ before, please explain me what the Awful Block is. And if it is meant to imply in some way that Donkey Kong 64 is an awful game, I have people to smite.
No.
Let me finish before you smite anyone. Awful Block is just a block of games where they're awful games. Usually they're tie-in games. Like the first one of this year was Adventures of Yogi Bear, and then there was Disney's 102 Dalmatians, Puppies to the Rescue. Just a bunch of awful games. Donkey Kong 64 happened to be the game right before Adventures of Yogi Bear, so I'm counting it as the start of the Awful Block. So just smite me.
Yeah, it was DK64randomizer.com, and that randomizer looked super fun, but I would have to replay Donkey Kong 64. It's not fresh enough in my brain for me to understand any part of it. But the way the randomizer is built has a lot of like interesting logic puzzles as part of it, and it seemed like it would be really fun.
I would love that.
I was interested in watching that one, but I quickly was like, I don't know Donkey Kong 64 well enough to like follow this and have a good time watching it.
Bad.
But Awful Block ended at like 9 a.m. this morning, which is the longest Awful Block I've
it started at like midnight.
Yeah.
And ended at like 9 a.m. I think.
Yeah, it was a rootin' tootin' good time. Speaking of rootin' tootin', let's talk about the plot to Golden Sun: The Lost Age.
Do they root and toot in that?
I don't think they root nor toot.
But segues need to happen.
Newly armed with our permission to enter Osenia, whatever that is, we cross the bridge from Madra into the cliffs of Osenia. Here we see the wreckage of the Champa boat, which means if they are to return to Champa, they must be trying to get another boat, and the Elder of Madra is trying to catch up to Briggs, the leader of the Champa, before he can get a boat and leave, because he wants to clear Piers' name. On the other side of those cliffs, we get to the Yampi Desert, where the Madran Elder and his son, the Madran Mayor, and their whole entourage are stymied. The desert is craggy and rough, and they can't really find a good way through it. But we, of course, can. We use our Synergy to get past and find a large scorpion, which when we defeat it, it gives us the Scoop Synergy, which is the mental power to shift around loose sand covering certain items on the ground.
I feel like you could do that with a shovel.
Yeah.
Yeah, but isn't it cooler doing it with your mind?
It is cooler doing it with your mind.
We head back to the Entourage and we reveal a cave that they can use to get through the crags, and we head with them towards Al-Hafra. When we get to the town of Al-Hafra, the Modern Entourage head to speak to the Al-Hafran mayor, which means we have to wait our turn, so we wander around the town and eventually head to the inn, but it's sold out because some guy has bought the entire suite to himself. And that man is Albert Einstein. No, of course, it's Alex, who says that he came here looking for a boat, so he figured that we would show up eventually, but the only boat in this town was already sold, and it has a broken mast, and it can't be fixed unless some adepts came out of nowhere and helped. Hey, we're adepts, let's help!
So you're telling me I missed Alex again?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is he?
This guy hates you.
Is he just not going to show up now because I didn't do the first thing?
Did you go to the second floor of the inn and find him?
I don't know if I went to the second floor of the inn. I just went to the inn and slept there.
I was going to ask if either of you did this, but now I realize I have to just ask you, Sam, since Bernard didn't see Alex here. But did you try to use mind read on him?
Uh-huh.
If you do, he's just like, please stop trying to do that. It's not going to work.
Yeah. In proper Golden Sun frustrating ways, he's like, oh, if you don't read my mind, you'll know what I'm planning soon enough. And it's like, yes, everyone knows that there is some evil plan going on except for us. Someone please tell us what's going on. So we head over to the shipyard, and the ship is in rough shape. The mast has snapped, and a bunch of junk that looks like Synergy puzzles has landed on top of it, including a huge rock that does not look like a Synergy puzzle. Heading into the boat, we see that the people who bought the boat are the Champa. Briggs is talking to one of his pirate lackeys, and we drop some eaves to hear that Briggs doesn't see himself as a pirate. Yes, he's committing piracy, but only because everyone in Champa would starve, and they also won't ever take too much from any one town. Not because he's altruistic, but because wealthier towns are more likely to react to being robbed, so they only take from smaller, poorer towns. Jenna harumphs at his perceived superior morality, which alerts him to our presence. He asks what we're doing.
I do love the moment where it seems like we're gonna do he's actually not that, he's actually like a noble thing. Oh, never mind.
No, never mind. He asks what we're doing here, and we're like, your whole bullshit has sent an innocent man to prison. And Briggs is like, and why should I care? So we fight him, and
he's hard.
He's really hard.
Oh wow, I actually breezed through him. I can't believe I get to be that person this time.
So on my first attempt, he killed me in 3 turns. I had no chance. And then on my second attempt, no one got into low health at all at any point. It was breezy the second time, but the first one was really hard.
Also, God, learning how to properly use your Jin makes this game, I'm not going to say easy, but it makes the combat system just very fun.
Mm-hmm.
Utilizing them properly.
It's especially cool this time because last time, by the time we got our 4th Jin, we had our 4th party member, and so we could just color match to people. But now we still don't have our 3rd one, so somebody has to have a new weird class, which is fun.
Well, and the fact that around if you go out of the way to find it, you can find another item that gives you a weird other class, which I haven't gotten to use yet because I wanted it to put it on Shayna. But if you do, she loses access to Whirlwind, and we needed Whirlwind for a while this time. So I'm going to put it on her now, but I keep forgetting to do it. But the other one, the Jester one, putting that on my girl, she... what I like about that one is that gives you a really interesting spread of different elements. So even though she's supposed to be the fire one normally, it gives her a flexibility to, especially with those ones where you can do 2 different elements with a single summon. It makes that really useful.
Oh yeah.
Also the fact that if you do the summon and it does the elemental boost, that elemental boost, as far as I can tell, seems to also strengthen if you summon with that character again in that same element.
Yeah, it's very cool. Not being a sore loser, Briggs admits defeat and he says that he'll go with us, but his wife Chowcha runs in and begs us to forgive him. The only reason the Champa have turned to piracy is because global warming has killed all the fish, and this is not a summary. They say this, and that's amazing. And the Champa are seafaring and they rely on fish for their livelihood. So Briggs and his men went in search of new fishing grounds, found nothing, and therefore turned to piracy in order to bring food back to their people.
I mean, they were looking for fishing grounds, and if you ask me, they should have been looking for fishing waters. No wonder they didn't find anything.
At that point, the Modron entourage and the El Hafren mayor come in, and they're like, and why should I care? The El Hafren mayor is a piece of shit. And
he's so awful!
He didn't believe that the Champa were pirates, or even that the Modrons were from Madra without proof. After all, why would pirates waste time and money buying a ship instead of just stealing one? And the mayor of Madra is like, because they stole our money to buy it? Briggs, being a sport, says that since the Modron ships were destroyed and this boat was bought with Modron gold, then this ship should go back to the Modrons to make amends. But he just has one request, to let Chowcha and their child, Iolio, stay in the ship while the repairs are being completed. He also confirms to the people there that Piers is not one of his men, so the Modron mayor sends a messenger back to Madra to go free Piers, as the mayor and the elder will stay here in Al Hafra until the repairs for the boat are completed.
What I love is, like, the party isn't even the one to, like, get that out of him. Instead, they're like, wait a minute, so this guy Piers, he's totally your guy, right? And he's like, I don't know who that is.
Because one of the people that's in the entourage is Shin, the guy whose wife was hurt in the Champa attack, who is so ready to beat the shit out of Piers last week. It's his buddy. It was there and was just like, oh, like Piers is everything, and obviously Piers is guilty. And Briggs is like, I don't know who that is. So the guards take Briggs away, and the Madron entourage say that they don't have anything to repay us with, and we just ask for a ride back to Madra, and we can help the repairs by doing those aforementioned synergy puzzles. So we move some boxes, we push some logs, and we pound some stakes, and we tie some ropes, but nothing we have will do anything for that big old rock. So looks like we won't be going back to Madra with this thing, so we need to find our own way.
I forgot, by the time we got to that part, I completely forgot about the obvious synergy puzzles. Did nothing to help with that boat at all.
We stop in to talk to the Al Hafren and Modron mayors, and we find that the Al Hafren mayor is using the money that the pirates paid him to buy the boat to repair their town after the tidal wave, and so he's making the Modrons pay for their own repairs for the ship, which just so happens that the mayor of Al Hafra runs the ship repair business, so he's getting paid twice for the same boat, which fucking sucks. I hate this guy. I hate him a lot.
He's so bad. He's just such a douchebag.
He really, truly is. But if we go to the top of his tower, there's an observation platform where we can see Ayers Rock, a unique big rocky mountain in the middle of the desert, and an NPC in the tower tells us that the wind there howls in a mysterious way, and he's sure that there's something special about it. So we head to Ayers Rock, where the only line in the game's script about Ayers Rock is, beware the windstones. The stones magnify the power of the wind. Use caution when approaching Ayers Rock, which officially makes this the starkest plot to dungeon ratio I've ever played in an RPG. This is even more than Septerra Core.
It is truly, the game does not point you towards it almost at all, and it is then, like, I was looking at a guide, and the guide I was looking at was like, just so you know, Ayers Rock is notorious among Golden Sun fans as being ridiculously long. And I was like, you say that it's a Game Boy Advance game. And then I played it, I was like, oh, this is longer than it. Like, this is in the top 5 longest dungeons I've played in any video game, I think.
Yeah. So the dungeon has an outside section that has at least 3, off the top of my head, different set pieces, like puzzle bits you have to figure out. And then when you reach the summit, you head inside for another dungeon with something like 4 set pieces that you have to figure out. And at the end of which, Sheba learns reveal. And then Felix uses egress, and we leave the dungeon.
What did you mean by there being only one reference to Ayers Rock in the script?
No, the only plot that happens at Ayers Rock in the script, the only dialogue box that can open in Ayers Rock is just that sign at the front. So there's no plot scenes that really happen. Even when you get reveal, it says like, "Oh, ye who know about wind shit, touch me and get a special power." And she was like, "Should I do it?" And Felix is like, "Yeah, sure." And so she does it, and then you learn reveal. And there's no more scenes, and you just leave.
Yep.
It's great. The dungeons are amazing, by the way. It's super long,
Yes.
but they are super very good.
Ayers Rock, other than the obvious pun, is no joke.
If we try and head back after to go tell the guy that nothing mysterious happened at Ayers Rock, and he's bad for telling us to go there, you can't get back. The way down doesn't have a way back up, so we have to walk the long way around the whole desert to get back to Madra.
So funny thing about the long way. I was like, I'm gonna explore a little bit before I get there. And so I avoided the desert at first and went around that long way to see what I could find going around. And it's so much overworld.
It's so long. It is absolutely the long way. But heading back through the long way, the first town on our way is Garrow, a tiny town tucked away in the mountains. As we draw close, night falls, and we see a werewolf. I don't remember. Was there a beastman in part 1 of any sort?
I don't remember there being any beastmen.
I don't think so, but Camelot's beastmen are always super cool looking, and these werewolves are no different. They're very cool looking.
There were some people who were like blue and shit.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think blue is the type of beast.
No. Kraden is super jazzed to meet a werewolf, so we follow it into town, and everyone there has their hoods drawn tight over their faces, and they say that they won't deal with us until the morning, which is supposed to be a hint that something's up with them at night. But like, I wouldn't sell people a sword in the middle of the night either. It's like, go to the inn and sleep. What are you doing talking to me?
But if you go to the inn and sleep, you wake up at night.
It's so funny. You only can sleep till morning when they're ready for you to sleep till morning. As we near the back of the town, though, we see a werewolf come out from a secret hideout, see us, and run back in. But since we have reveal, we can follow him into a secret hideout, and we meet the werewolf elder, Maha. He tells us that the werewolf that we were following is just a child who isn't able to speak human tongue while transformed, because that's really hard to do, but Maha has been a werewolf for a long time, so he'll speak to us. After a brief exchange of shitty Gandalf speak about elementals and whatever, Maha reveals that the werewolves of Garrow are not cursed, but are instead similar to the residents of Vale in Emil, where they are touched by synergy and protectors of it, and they're Jupiter adepts just like Sheba. They can do whirlwind, and they can do reveal. But there aren't any synergy stones in Garrow, and the closest ones are over in Ayers Rock, well across the desert from here. But because the desert is windy, and wind erosion is a thing, that it has carried small particulate synergy stones all the way to Garrow, which has caused their transformation and their synergy aptitude. This elicits some more shitty Gandalf speak, which gives Maha a bunch to think about, and as thanks, he gives us a Jupiter Jenny, and we continue on our way.
Could you please explain that scene in much more laborious detail so that our listeners can understand what it was actually like?
Yeah, when I was going through, because like while playing it, it was like laborious, but it didn't feel as useless as then when I pulled up the script to summarize it. I'm like, yeah, it's shitty Gandalf elemental bullshit.
The game continues to be a lot more long-winded than necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Especially on this one, because like you get to the halfway point, and Maha is like, well, it's late, you should go to sleep and then come back in the morning, just so that you leave and you go to sleep and you come back in the morning, and then you continue your conversation as if it's no different. They just needed you to stop to make it longer. It's stupid. So the other town on the way back to Madra has no plot in it whatsoever, but does have real good equipment. So we get equipped with new gear and eventually return to Madra, where the guards stop us to vibe check us again. We're like, isn't the whole thing with the Champa handled? And they're like, yes, but the thing with the Kibombo has only just begun. Shortly before the messenger from Al-Hafra returned with the news of Piers' innocence, the Kibombo tribe attacked, stole Piers' black orb, and Piers took off after them. So we have freed our last party member, but we still can't use him. So let's go to Kibombo and catch up with him so we can build party synergy finally next week. But first, Mim Moms.
I fucking hate the Ayers Rock pun. I hate it. I hate it so much.
I don't get it. When you said that it was an obvious pun, I don't get it.
It's a reference to Uluru, also known as Ayers Rock, which is a giant fucking rock in Australia.
Oh, that's cool. But
it's spelled Ayers, not Ayers. But it's a really stupid pun, and I hate it.
I just realized a reason why the boss fight against Briggs might have been a lot easier for me is I did not do things in the order you did. I saved the Briggs fight for last. I did Ayers Rock first.
Oh yeah, that's real long. I got I think 3 levels up in Ayers Rock.
Well, I didn't actually get that many levels up. I was more helped out by getting good equipment in one of those other towns. Because what makes Ayers Rock I think a lot more bearable. If this was happening at the same point of the game of the last game, I would be tearing my hair out. But Jenna has a void, and I can just keep spamming that, and I only have to do a random battle every 5 minutes instead of every minute.
Yes,
which is great.
Being able to use a void when you just want to focus on these puzzles is very nice, and we talked about it last week, but it's ridiculous how good these dungeons are. These are Lufia 2 level dungeons, if you ask me.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Absolutely.
And, last game's dungeons I thought were alright, but this game's dungeons is just I kept thinking of the thing Ejiao Numa famously and perhaps, what's the word? Wow.
Apocryphally?
And yes, perhaps that said about how a good Zelda puzzle, the point of it is to make you feel smart. Mm-hmm. And, man, these Golden Sun The Lost Age puzzles are really good at making me feel smart.
Oh yeah. They're absolutely fantastic. And I think it's so funny. I keep talking about how the synergies in this game are bad and stupid, and yet the dungeons are really, really good, mostly because they don't use the synergies at all. Our synergies are almost entirely just plot gates at this point. The pound, I think, has come up a couple of times, but the rest of them barely at all. And so I think because the synergy sucks so bad, you can't just be like, oh, this dungeon is going to be a reveal dungeon where you have to find the oases or whatever. It's like, oh, this one we have to actually do dungeoning, and they're good at it, turns out.
Speaking of using the pound one, though, there's that one area in the Ayers Rock dungeon where you do use pound a little bit with the pillars, and how you have to... It's this thing of if you pound this down, it'll make it go up somewhere else, but if you step on it, and it isn't being covered by one of the pillars, it'll just go back down. It's not a stable platform.
Yes, I love that.
And then it's you figure it out a little bit, and then you go and you're like, oh, I also have to leave an opening right here for the wind to be able to go through. And it's this is so complicated. I love it.
Yes, I loved that one. I didn't love that I got them into a configuration where I was like, this would work if I could just jump at will, but I can't. I have to step on the thing because it's there. I can't jump over it. But I did still enjoy that puzzle a lot.
Yeah, I especially love that one. I also had noted it because you show up and you look at the Synergy puzzle in front of you and you're like, okay, it'll be this solution. It's obvious that it's going to be this, and then that's when you find that it falls over. So then you do a second one that you then see, oh, well, now it's blocking it. And so it's like there were secretly 3 ways to solve the puzzle the whole time, but each time it was obvious which one to do until you saw the thing that was wrong and then went back to do it. It was very cool.
Very well designed. You know what else is well designed? The fucking graphics in this game. Specifically, going to like the werewolf village. As you go, the place slowly turns to night, and you can see the moon reflected in the water.
Yeah.
It's just so atmospheric, and I love the sprite work so much.
Yeah, it's so good.
When the werewolf child showed up, I knew it was a werewolf because I think there had been a text box that was like a woo and everything, and there's the full moon and everything, but I was just like, that looks like a rat boy. That doesn't look like a wolf boy. That looks like a rat.
Yeah, the little boy is not the beastman that looks really cool. Maha is the beastman that looks really cool.
Maha does look really cool.
Did you
even
go
if he's
to the jail? Go ahead.
I just was gonna say, even if he's a second shitty Gandalf, he looks really cool.
Did you go back to the jail where they're keeping Briggs for the scene that happens there?
I didn't, but I saw it in the script.
It's neat. His wife and kids show up, and they're trying to be like, what the fuck are you feeding these people? And the guard's like, oh, well, they're in prison. They don't deserve good food. This isn't a luxury hotel. And I'm like, oh, I want to stab this man. And then while that is happening, the kid uses Synergy to try to pick up the keys to let Briggs out, but it doesn't end up happening. But it's just like, what is this? What is going on here? Game, I'm excited to find out what's going on here. If something is, or if this is just a little thing that's not going to matter.
I think it will matter because there's a second one you can see that's similar. And then if you go back to the ship and you read Iolio's mind, he says, even though he out loud only ever says goo goo gaga, you read his mind and he says, I'm going to use my magic and save my daddy.
That's so good. Also, it like after the kind of turn with Briggs, where it's like, oh, okay, this is the kind of character we're getting. The more we went over it in the recap, but God, the mayor is just the biggest douchebag in the world. You didn't mention the part where you could talk to him. He's like, those mystical powers you have, I saw you use those. Those seem pretty cool. I'm going to start a trade empire. If you ever want to make some extra money, you could protect my ships from pirates. Wouldn't that be a good way to spend your time? And I'm like, you're the worst human being I've ever met.
Oh, I hate him so much.
There was a lot of unnecessary dialogue about the relationship between the modern mayor, the Alhafran mayor, and the modern elder. There was just this weird amount of dialogue about like how they know each other. And I was like, I do not fucking care.
Yeah, it's so silly. When you were in Alhafra, did you find the 2 guards that are in love?
No.
Okay, so of course I'm reading between the lines, but that's what I get to do. So you talk to the first guard, and he's like, listen, you look like an okay guy, and I'd love to let you through, but I can't. I mean, if I let you in, then I'd have to let everyone in, right? I'm sorry, it wouldn't be fair. And then you talk to the other guy, and he asks if you want to see the mayor, and he says he can't. He says he's in an important meeting right now, so so you can't go in and see him. But if you read their minds, that guy says, I hate my job. I always have to be so tough and secretive around people. Deep down inside, all I really want to do is read them some of my poetry. And then you read the other guy's mind, and he says, my partner's always in such a bad mood. Maybe I should bake him a cake.
Oh my god, I love it!
It's so good. Also in Alhafra, right when you show up, one of the people in the modern entourage is like, whew, are we here? I feel like I just walked 500 miles. But you know what? I'm fine. I feel like I could walk 500 more.
It continues to freak me out how much of this game is optional and how much of it can be done in different orders.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Werewolf Town first, and I went to Alhafra, then I went to Werewolf Town, and I was like, well, what the fuck do I do? Sam mentioned Ayers Rock, and I hadn't gotten any dialogue about it, so I was just wandering the world map. Eventually I found it, and I was like, oh, this is a big fucking rock. Okay, I'll climb it. Then a few fucking calendar days later, I completed it. That dungeon ruled, though.
Oh, it's so good.
It was very good. It's a high watermark for sure.
The other line that I loved, I don't remember what it was about because it was during the shitty Gandalf stuff that I could not possibly give a shit about. But Kraden has the line, "Excuse me, I am a scientist," which it made
As
me...
you know, I'm a chemist, alchemist.
I mean, you bring it up. I did have a little bit of fun with Kraden being shitty Gandalf when in the lead up to the thing when everyone's like. He's like, oh, wow, we have to go investigate this. Everyone's like, why do we gotta do that? What, Kraden, do you like werewolves? Is that what this is? Do you just like werewolves? And he was just like, what? No, yeah, okay, I just like werewolves.
I found it in the script. Kraden is like, to be honest, I haven't thought of it that way before. And Maha's like, perhaps you didn't give it enough thought. And that's when Kraden goes, how insulting. I, sir, am a scientist.
This game's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was not in love with the first game. I thought it was fine. But this game, it's weird because it is very much just the second half of the first game. But I find it a lot better so far.
Yeah. And I think the meandering optional vibe that everything has actually is helping out because it just feels a lot more organic, the things that you're doing, where the last ones were like, oh, go follow a guy, but as soon as you get to the place where the guy is, he's going to disappear in a boat and go somewhere else. Like it's fucking Tales of Destiny.
God.
But this one is just like, we're just trying to figure some shit out, and we don't have any leads. Our protagonists are stupid and didn't even know there was another continent to walk around. So we have no idea what we're doing. We're just walking around, and I like it. Speaking of continents, though, remember last game where they never said a country's name whatsoever? Everything was city-states, and now everything is about the country that they're in.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, it's not, oh, we're crossing over to Alhafra. We're crossing over to Osenia, which is a place, apparently. And it's wild how often the names of these countries are coming up.
I thought the names were just the names of, like, the continents that these city-states were on.
Yeah.
And in the first game, there was only one, really, so.
Yeah.
There was, similarly, there's a bit with Briggs where they're giving their backstory and stuff where he mentions, like, where their village is, and it's right by that one monastery we went to in the last game. Apparently they just live somewhere near there, and it's just like, why did you do anything over there? It's like, we're not gonna rob our neighbors, we're not stupid.
Yeah, I love the way that Kraden talks about it too, because they're like, Champa, where's that? It's like, oh, it's over on such and such landmass. And I'm like, oh, isn't that near the two temples? He goes, yeah, if you just head south past those mountains, it'd be right there. It's very hillbilly directions to us, the player, of where it was last game.
By the way, Sam, I have put a photo of Uluru, aka the real Ayers Rock, in chat so that you can see it, because it does look real cool, so you should see it.
It is real cool. I also love that it's called Uluru because werewolf in French, I believe, is loup-garou, which is similarly sounding, which the werewolves are tied to Ayers Rock in this game. And so it fits nicely in my brain.
Is that what it is in French?
I think it's in French. Don't
I know loup is Wolf. Yeah, loup-garou.
Yeah.
I can't believe you knew a French word that I didn't. That's weird.
If you search on DuckDuckGo for loup-garou, the top hit is loup-garou, tardis.fandom.com.
Oh,
That's
I see.
why.
I see.
So that will do it for the week. If you like what you heard today, you can head on over to www.rpgbook.club, where any and all donations will help us offset the cost of running the show. If you decide to donate $1 or more a month, you'll become one of our gadabouts and also get access to our bonus feed, filled with after shows for every episode, as well as bonus seasons of the show, such as Tales of Podcastia, The Escape Pod, and the JRPG Canon. If you up your donation to $5 or more each month, you can become one of our warriors and get your name read at the end of every episode, a little like this. Shoutouts to Dragonslayer19, Freddy Rodriguez, and JFro Prime. And then if you really, really love us and you want to be one of our luminaries, you can donate $20 or more a month and get a short one-sentence shoutout or advert read at the end of each episode, a little like this. Shoutouts to Kale Dronis, who says to check out Podcasters Assemble. It is a documentary-style, crowdsourced movie, hype, and rewatch podcast. Every season, podcasters from around the world are assembled to review, reminisce, and riff on a popular franchise. Shoutouts to Vimke, who says, he rattled and cursed all the way, and she told herself that she had won before she even woke up that morning. That crux was an impotent symbol of control, one last attempt to test if she was stupid enough or cowed enough to walk back behind the cold bars of her prison. And then shoutouts to It's Clear Time, who says, for you TTRPG nerds, check out Fabula Ultima. I'm not affiliated with the game, I just think it's neat. For RPG Book Club, I've been Sam.
I've been on the Wikipedia page for Werewolf. My name is Bernard.
And I have been on Tumblr. My name's Trish. Goodbye.
Toodaloo, folks.
Bye-bye.
Did you know that a traditional cure for lycanthropy was exhaustion? They would just make you do a bunch of work in hopes that being real tired would make you not a werewolf anymore.